Welcome to the Bodaciously Awesome Family Show. Bodaciously Awesome Family Show. The only show dedicated to helping parents maximize their kids' experiences and for kids to reap the fun. Here are your hosts, the Bodacious family, Adam, Anthony, and Zachary.
Yeah! Welcome. Well.
It's just you.
So have we here. Welcome back to Bodacious Awesome Family
Show. Okay.
And we...
Yep.
I mean, why not?
Better question, why?
Is tender lumplings everywhere, and life's no fun without a good scare. Come with us and
All right,
you will...
dude, you gotta stop doing that. At least do your bad Jack voice, because that's just like even weirder.
No, you don't like my pop poetry voice?
No, I hate it actually. I mean, no offense, but it's terrible. Like, it's one of the worst things I've heard all day. And I've been in school all day, man.
There are few who can deny it. What I do, I am the best.
See, that even that's better than your pop poetry voice.
But my talents are renowned far and wide.
Okay.
To a guy on a podcast.
All right, and we're back. It's our Halloween list episode. You can find us everywhere. Let's go.
Yeah. So, yeah. So we were talking. We did an episode, during the pandemic about movies and trying to up your cinematic education. And today, so we started looking through, as we got into September, movies for the October season, the scary season, the frightening season for you. We did some for Zach too. He has a night off, so it's just me. Oh, by the way, hi, I'm your host Adam,
and I'm Antonio. We probably should have done that.
I mean, we should have, but we had our little repertoire thing going on instead.
I don't think you know what a repertoire is.
I don't think you know how to say it.
Me too.
Okay, so and so we started talking about movies for Halloween. As I said, for Zach, we were going through some of the stuff that's on Disney Plus. He's in that weird age of doesn't want to do the kid stuff, but is obviously too young for anything that will actually scare him because it'll freak him out and he'll end up in Mom and I's bed every night and that'd be bad. Yeah,
you don't want him in your bed?
No. I want him far away. And, I mean, sleeping-wise.
As far away as possible.
Exactly. He kicks. He's a kicker. So, but we did come up with a list for you. And again, the idea is how can we expand your cinematic education and not just find, just whatever movie is random, but things that are good and have, some great value. But also still trying to remember you are 13 and trying not to, just go full out with everything.
That's my angry face.
I can see it. They cannot.
Well, they should start being better at seeing things.
I mean, it almost looks like you're wearing a mask.
Maybe I am.
It's like a scary Halloween mask of a frightening kid.
Scooby-Doo ending.
Oh, doo-doo. So, but we do want to, but that's important because you're like, oh, what's the scariest movies? And I can be like, The Changeling or The Ring. Can I see those? I'm like, no, not right now. Because they're petrifying. I get that a lot.
I'm sure you do.
So, but we did start going through. So let's start. So the Halloween season here started off with a bang. So we're recording this on Monday night. We're releases tomorrow, but we're like 3 days here into the month, and you've already seen 2 pretty good movies, right?
I've seen 2 very good movies.
Yeah, I mean one's an utter classic, and one's maybe you might say it's a new classic. I don't know. So So watch it. So what was first movie we saw during the season?
The Thing.
That's right, 1980, 81, something like that. John Carpenter's The Thing. And it is fantastic. What did you think about it?
I thought it was really good. It was good.
A man of many words. I had to slow him down.
It was very good. I wasn't expecting it to be so gory and stuff, and I thought that the use of fire was really cool, given they were in Antarctica.
Yeah, well, that's actually funny you mentioned the goriness of it. This is oddly a movie I did not see until very late in life. I'm a big John Carpenter fan, but for some reason, I just never saw The Thing.
You skipped that one.
I did. I don't know why. And so I didn't see this until, say 10 years ago. It's been more, and then I've seen it a couple times since, but I loved it. I was absolutely amazed by it. And since I was never at that time thinking about, you watching it, the gore factor I didn't really notice until we saw it the other night. And I was like, wow, this is actually quite gory.
Yeah, this is like Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe worse.
I mean, and there are parts I would say are worse. Now, and again, you've seen some episodes of Walking Dead first season, and so it wasn't that
it wasn't that shocking.
Right? Yeah. I wasn't worried about it for you, but yeah, I was like, wow. I mean, again, I wasn't thinking you were gonna get nightmares or anything, but it was definitely a little gorier than I remember. And also, because this is something you actually mentioned too, since this is the days of pre-CGI, this was not like CGI monster. This was like handmade like movie magic, right? This is actual like Tom Savini in
Which
the back
is very,
room.
very impressive with the weird like spider thing with the dude's face.
That was cool.
That was like the one part that actually freaked me out a little bit. I'm like, oh, that's a spider with a guy's face.
It was like his head like grows legs and walks away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. Or like the weird like half dog hybrid things that are like growing out of like the whatever.
Yeah, it's a very good movie.
Yeah, but actually, did you like The Thing?
I did like The Thing.
And you would recommend it?
I would recommend it.
On a scale of 0 to 5, super nice ways far as I find
4.5. I'm thinking 4.
I think 4 is actually pretty good. Now, back in the day, I would say it was definitely a 5. I think it's lost some of its luster. You mentioned it's kind of clunky at the end, and it definitely has some missteps in terms of its editing, but it is still very engaging.
Yeah, that was my one problem with it, is that it's, honestly, it's very clunky everywhere, really. It does not flow very well.
And that's John Carpenter as a writer and a director. Like that's some of his stuff just doesn't quite land. That's great. He's like obviously throw everything at a wall and see what sticks. Mm-hmm. And for the most part, it always does. But every once in a while, you're like, this probably could be smoother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. All right, so then you follow that up with what was your second movie of the season so far?
Sleepy Hollow, which I liked far more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, so Sleepy Hollow, Tim Burton movie, Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, and retells the story of Ichabod Crane.
Yeah, I was not expecting it to like it that much. I'm like, oh, it'll be a solid movie. Now, I thought it was great. Like, visually, it was amazing because, Tim Burton. That I was expecting. That, yeah. But, like, the movie itself was really, really good.
See, here's the funny thing is that I seen that movie only once when it came out. And
yeah, you should definitely rewatch that.
Yeah, I think I have to. Well, there was also another movie that starred Johnny Depp that came out around the same time called From Hell. And it was similar in terms it was weird, and it was he was a detective in this weird murder case thing, and it may have been in ancient Victoria or something, I don't know. But like, so they were very similar. And as I recall, From Hell is not as good. And I often get the two mixed up, like in my mind, like because I've only seen them both. Well, I think I've seen From Hell twice, but I get them mixed up, so I don't really remember Sleepy Hollow that much. So we actually rewatched the trailer. I was like, this looks really good. I gotta watch this.
It is really good. They have like, not spoiling anything, but they have one scene in a church which is like honestly one of like the greatest scenes I've ever seen. Like it's just like bam, 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 bam. Stuff's happening all over the place. It's really cool.
All right, so I'll have to get to that because I obviously do not remember it very well.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a rewatch.
All right, so outstanding. On a scale of 0 to 5, 0 being an absolute waste 2 hours of life, 5 being metaphysical fraction, using the whole and half numbers, how would you rate Sleepy Hollow?
I'm also going to go 4 for this one. I think The Thing is better, but this is also a 4.
That's fair, and and you can have different levels. That's
yeah. This is closer to 3.5 to 4, while Thing is 4 to 4.5.
Solid. Okay. Now from there, we're only 3 days into the month here, so there's only so much we can do here. But you have a lot of other things that you want to see. So why don't we go through some of this list and see what we can talk about.
Okay, I want to see Get Out because I've heard it's really good. I want to see Split because I watched the trailer and it was really good, and you're like, oh no, it's not that good. And I'm like, oh, I don't care because it looks really good and I kind of want to see it. So there, take that, Dad. I want to see...
Just keep going. I'll answer to all these later.
Session 9, Woman in Black, maybe. Not positive, but maybe want to see that. Blair Witch Project, Devil, and Hush.
Okay, so there's a good list, and I'll chat about here in a sec, all these things. So Get Out. Get Out is a very good movie. There's a lot of societal overtones, racial overtones in it.
Yeah, that's honestly part of the reason I want to see it, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has it's a good thing to discuss afterwards. You mentioned Split. Split's not bad.
Did I not just say that you were going to say, it's okay?
It is. It's solidly fine. Every once in a while, you'll see like a trailer or really want to see something, and I'm not opposed to it. There's so many other things that are so much better to put in front of you. I mean, Split's fine.
Yeah, but it looks so good.
Honestly, the best thing about Split is the twist at the end, and you already know, and you already know the twist is. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah. But it looks so good.
It's a good, fine movie.
Because I honestly, like, after I saw Psycho, I was really far more interested in the split personalities thing, that being like a whole movie. So Psycho is a part of that too, actually.
Yes, we did watch Psycho, and you have the birds on the list too, actually.
I do, yeah. I forgot to say that one.
Yeah. Okay. So keep going those. So then we go to we saw Shutter Island recently.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, because that was on your list.
That was good.
Yeah, and Psycho we just saw.
Oh, well, that one was.
Yeah, you love Psycho.
Uh-huh.
We'll do another Hitchcock episode. We'll do Psycho and the Birds and North by Northwest.
And another one that we find somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll figure out something. All right, so we got to go through. So Session 9 is one that I've told you about, right?
Yep.
Did we watch the trailer for that?
Yep.
And you liked the trailer?
Yep.
Anything else you want to say about Session 9?
Yep.
Okay. So Session 9 is very good. I one of those movies that not a lot of people have seen. And it's not great, but it's good. And I like movies that I like to be special. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like being special. I like knowing things that other people don't know and seeing movies that other people haven't seen. And Session 9 is kind of that movie. You know, now that people have seen it, you'd be like, hey, want to this movie no one's ever seen? Well, check out Session 9.
I've actually heard of Session 9. That's the thing.
Really?
Before you told me about it, I 100% heard about Session 9.
That's shocking.
Yep.
All right, so we go to Women in Black. The Woman in Black has a funny story here in our household.
Oh, yes, it does. You can just say Woman in Black, and Mom will, like, crup behind a pillow.
Yes, and then she'll stare at me and probably throw the pillow at me and maybe a dish or a knife or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
yeah, that sounds about right.
I had heard of Women in Black, and it stars Danny Radcliffe, who was Harry Potter, and I had just heard that it was, quote, a thriller. And Grandma was over for a visit, and Grandma does not like scary movies at all. And I'm like, oh, I have heard of this movie. It is a thriller. We should try watching it. It is not a thriller. It is a full-on out horror movie about a haunted house. Like, it's really good.
Yeah, and we watched the trailer for that one. I'm like, that looks really good.
I'm not sure Mama can make it through the trailer, if I remember correctly.
Oh, no, she couldn't. No, she got freaked out by the trailer, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so...
Because it looks like atmospherically very, very cool.
Atmospherically, it is amazing. It's actually, it makes the movie because it is atmospherically well done. It'll be interesting to rewatch that, though, with the atmosphere of Haunting of Hill House, right? In terms of that haunted house...
Okay, yeah, because I really like Haunting Hill House.
Right. But since that's a little more commonplace of an atmosphere now, at least for you, or if you, I wonder if it has the same punch because of that.
Well, I also think if I'm expecting it, it's going to help a little bit too. Like, I don't think Mom will find it as scary the second time, or you will find it as scary because you're now expecting a horror versus a thriller.
That's very true, and I didn't necessarily find it scary. Most movies don't really scare me. But
you said there's like 5 movies that scared you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And Woman in Black's not one of them.
But it came close.
But it definitely got under my skin a little bit because, again, atmospherically, it's really good.
Yeah, like, we watched the trailer and I'm like, that looks muy bueno.
Oh, I'm glad you did that in Spanish.
Me too.
All right. From there, because now you're rolling into, we already have this one in the books now for this week. We're going to watch, on Friday, I believe, you're watching The Blair Witch Project.
Yes, we are. With
the original.
The original.
And what are you expecting from Blair Witch?
I don't know, and that's why I'm excited.
Okay, that's fair. Have you heard any? I know you've asked me a little bit. I think you probably saw. We watched the trailer, and again, I was telling you when this came out, like it was billed as real. It was the very first like found footage movie, and so it was viewed as a real documentary on some level. It was a great marketing gimmick.
I'd imagine that you'd be like, okay, yep, we're seeing that now. Go.
When that trailer came out and it's like real, I was like, holy cow, this is gonna be incredible. And I liked it when it first came out. I would hesitate to revisit it because it was so much caught up in that marketing and that atmosphere. It'll be interesting to see what your take of it is afterwards.
I'm excited because it seems cool.
Yeah, and then from there we were talking about found footage movies, and I showed you the trailer for Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, and that one looks really good.
And so I gotta double check that one's okay. But yeah, that's actually another one of those. I can't remember if Paranormal Activity scared me. But maybe the third one may have. Like, oddly, if I remember, I can't remember.
One?
I'm trying to remember the first one I really liked. I think it was the first one I liked. The second one I didn't. The third I did, and the fourth I didn't. I think it was like skipping every other one. And they started making like 2 or 3 after that, and they all go off the rails. So they try to start linking them all together and try to make it a big like paranormal universe that doesn't.
Doesn't work.
Nah, I didn't think so. But like the first and the third, if I remember correctly, were really solid. Maybe it was the second and the fourth. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll find out.
All right. So then we also go to Devil.
Yeah, we watched the trailer for that one, and that one looks really interesting.
It does, and I'll say that if I remember correctly, Devil was not great, but it's not. I mean, it's a good movie. It's all about
conceptually, it looks amazing.
Right. So conceptually, it is. So it was. I think it's produced by Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan.
Hopefully, minus clunky dialogue.
Well, he doesn't direct it.
Okay.
I don't think he wrote it either. But the basic premise is like there's like 6 people that are trapped in an elevator, and it starts turning out that one of them could be the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
And the entire movie like most of the movie takes place inside of an elevator.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very, very cool concept.
Yeah.
All right. And then the last movie you had on your list was Hush.
And this one was added recently because you told me about what it's about. I'm like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so Hush is, and you can find this on streaming in various places, but it's about a woman. She lives alone or whatever. She's home alone one night, and someone breaks into her house, but she's deaf.
And that what?
Yeah, so there are times when you see like the guy, the burglar is making noise or whatever, and she can't hear him. And he might be like right behind her or whatever. So as an audience, you are like, turn around, like you're absolutely engaged.
That seems like a movie where I'm going to be screaming at the TV a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Which I normally don't do, but
yeah, it's actually Hush I would call a thriller.
Yeah, that seems more like a thriller than a horror, but still.
Yeah, I would definitely not call Hush horror, but it will kind of get your heart racing in the right ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Those are the ones we got on the list so far. And that's a good list for October.
That is a very solid list.
And then we'll still watch we'll watch some family stuff with Zach. Is there anything that you've seen elsewhere? Like, I was thinking about this the other day. I was trying to think of, like, even things for Zach. Again, how do you bridge that gap so he isn't too scared? And I was thinking of things like Pirates of the Caribbean 1. Because all the rest. Yeah, he's seen that. Yeah, but in terms of, like, that's a quote-unquote scary movie for a kid.
For a kid, sure.
Yeah, but even though it's more action thriller. I was thinking, like, actually, we talked about the other day, Zathura.
He would like Zathura.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah,
and that would kind of scare him a little bit, too.
Yeah, and you had a friend who at the beginning was very creeped out by the basement scene in Zathura.
Yeah.
So, again, not a scary movie per se, but it could fit the right mood.
He could revisit House with a Clock in Its Walls.
A House and Its Clock in Walls, again, for a movie made for kids, is terrifying.
Yeah, for a kid's movie, that is like The Ring. Like.
I would say actually The House with a Clock in Its Walls is probably the scariest PG thing I've ever seen. Like, for a PG movie, it's scary.
Without question.
Yeah, and again, all ambiance.
Yeah.
And then here's the one thing. We'll cap it off with this. There's 2 movies that I'm actually very annoyed about.
Watcher in the Woods and Something Wicked This Way Comes?
Yes, The Watcher in the Woods and Something Wicked This Way Comes. So first of all, I remember these both as a kid. So obviously I've not seen these in 35 years.
Sure.
So I can clarify whether or not they're actually good or at all scary or anything. But as a kid, they both terrified me.
I haven't seen the trailer for Watcher in the Woods yet. I still don't even know what it's about.
Yeah, okay. But what bothers me is that they aren't like on any streaming service. They're not on Prime. I mean, I did look. You can rent or you can buy Watcher in the Woods. You can't even buy Something Wicked This Way Comes anywhere. You can't even get it like on DVD.
Yeah, I read the book Something Wicked This Way Comes, and now I want to see the movie because the book was really good.
Right, I know. I got you the book for that reason. But what bugs me is they're both Disney movies. Disney Plus, why? Just release them for October and take them off. Why are they not there?
Yeah, because that's like as close as a Halloween movie as you're going to get with Disney.
I mean, well, Disney has some others like Hocus Pocus or Mr. Boogedy or even, Pirates. But, I mean, this is like those 2 are made for this season. And they aren't on, and they're both PG, and they're not on Disney Plus. I think they should release them on October 1, and then on November 1 they should be gone. And they should just rotate those through every year. And actually, I think they should do the same thing with Nightmare Before Christmas. So that should be October 1 through the end of the year. And then just take them off. Like, they have the opportunity to kind of make
Disney Plus.
I'm telling you. They have the opportunity to make it just kind of a little bit more special.
Yeah.
And I would love to have both those on and see them again. But no, stupid Disney Plus. Call it Disney Minus.
I get it because they don't have it.
All right. I think that's all we're going to talk about today. Those are a good, solid list. Maybe at the end of the season, maybe in November, we can do like a recap of all of them.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Mr. Anthony?
No, and usually here's where I would scream and lose my voice, but Zachary's not here, so I don't have to.
Yeah, here's the night off, so there are no random thoughts of the day.
No.
All right.
It's kind of weird.
It is. Ooh, how are we going to end this?
I don't know. You gotta like think
Tender lumplings. Can I sing?
Sure. You know what? You sing them out, Dad. You go for it.
This is Halloween.
This
Halloween,
is
Halloween, Halloween. We'll see y'all next week. We're talking about Halloween. Talk to you later. Bye. Oogie boogie.